Yes, cocoa bread. Super soft, buttery, slightly sweet, and extremely versatile. Enjoy simply with cheese or do it like most Jamaicans and make a cocoa bread and patty sandwich. This is a perfect sandwich bread. As far as yeast goods go, this is one of the easier products to make, and for something so simple, the taste is amazing. Before we start, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Alright, let's make the dough. So let's start with half cup or 120 milliliters of coconut milk. That's where cocoa bread gets its name. Half cup water for a total of 1 cup or 240 milliliters of liquid. Half tablespoon or 3 grams of active dry yeast. 2 tablespoons or 25 grams of brown sugar. Add another tablespoon for a sweeter cocoa bread. Half teaspoons or 2 grams of salt. Give that a mix to get everything dissolved. This is going to take 2 cups or 240 grams of flour, but I'm only adding 1 cup now. Mix thoroughly. This is called a pre-ferment and it's simply fermenting a portion of the total dough to help improve flavor and texture. We'll wrap and set this aside from anywhere from half hour to overnight in the fridge. The longer the dough ferments, the more flavors gets developed. This step is optional though, so don't stress. You'll get good cocoa bread regardless. Just add all the flour at once and go to the next step. Half an hour later, remove the pre-ferment from the fridge and wrap and add the next cup of flour and mix thoroughly. I'm using a spoon to keep my hands from getting messy. The dough is too soft now to work with my hands. Once everything comes together, I can go with my hands. I'm just folding the dough over onto itself and using the palm of my hands to press. We're going to knead for about 8 to 10 minutes or until the texture of the dough gets smooth and it has some structure. Halfway through though, I'm going to add 40 grams or half cup of softened margarine and knead that in. Butter is okay, but margarine gives it that nostalgic taste that I love. Add a bit more flour if the dough gets too sticky and hard to work with. You could add the margarine or butter at the start, but I get slightly better results when I add it later. Knead for another 4 to 5 minutes. Add a bit more flour if the dough is still too sticky. Careful not to add too much flour though. The dough should still be really soft but workable. Continue to knead until it's smooth. Then what you'll do is form it into a ball and then cover with cling wrap or a damp paper towel. I'm going to let this rise for 20 to 35 minutes or until it's about 70% bigger in size. The extra sugar and margarine will stop the dough from rising as fast or as much as it would without them. Usually at this stage, you'll let your dough double, but I find that if I let it double, it overproofs by the time I'm ready to bake. That texture feels nice. Okay, flour your work surface so handling the dough is much easier. Now let's divide the dough. Weighing them is a nice way to get consistency. Weigh all the dough, then divide evenly. This dough is a little over 600 grams total, so that's 6 pieces at a little over 100 grams each. Okay, time to shape the cocoa bread. Just take each portion piece and fold it over onto itself to form a tight ball. This is the same technique I use when making fried dumplings. Then next, I'm going to be rolling it on the work surface with my palm to form a tight, smooth ball. And we're going to repeat this with each portion. Alright, so we have 6 roughly even sized balls. Now, let's grease the baking tray. I'm going to line mine with some grease paper. Just cut it to size so it fits. We're going to use margarine to grease the paper by just brushing on the margarine. Be generous. Alright, in the next step, we're going to butter and fold the bread. Cocoa bread is also called folding bread for this reason. Simply roll out the dough, giving it quarter turns after each roll until it's about half-inch thick. Next, brush it generously with margarine or butter and give it a half fold. This can be buttered and folded again for a quarter fold, but I'm leaving this as is. I'm going to repeat this with all 6 dough balls and then place them onto the baking tray. The space kind of look tight, but I think I can make it work. Might have to reposition some. I'm leaving a little space in between them for the final rise. Alright, that's done. I'm going to proof them one final time. I'm putting the oven at about 110 degrees Fahrenheit and my cocoa bread will go in for another 15 to 20 minutes. Just to puff up and get fluffy. The origins of cocoa bread are unclear, but as with most Jamaican food, it probably has its roots in colonial times. Great. Now that the proofing is done, we can move on to baking. So I'm just going to turn the oven up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to spritz the cocoa bread generously with water. This will help the texture of the crust. It keeps the dough skin flexible so I get a better rise. Allow this to bake for 20 minutes until it's golden brown and sexy like this. Then we'll remove from the oven. Yeah, that's really soft and light. Nice and buttery and hot. Got so excited I forgot to let them cool a bit. So while they're still hot, just go ahead and brush them generously with margarine or butter. This smells so nostalgic right now. Reminds me of when I used to buy cocoa bread at lunchtime in primary school. This smells so damn sweet. So there you have it. Authentic Jamaican cocoa bread, super soft, sweet and buttery. So, unpopular opinion. Most Jamaicans really love a hot cocoa bread and cheese patty sandwich. I've tried it, but I'm not a huge fan. It always feels too heavy for me. Too much bread and crust. It's a bit too much. But let me know in the comments how you like your cocoa bread. My two favorite ways to have it are with cheese or a nice chicken sandwich. Yeah, this looks really nice. Please give cocoa bread a try and let me know how it go. I'm gonna have all of this right now, minus the cocoa bread and patty sandwich, of course. But hey, thanks for watching.